So now I will connect my quad using this USB cable to computer. So you can see that the light is blinking. So here you can see if you have preloaded firmware in this, you can directly click on connect and you can start configuring that one. But if you don't have the latest one, so it will give a dialog like your firmware is like outdated, just please install the latest one, something like that, will get a message. So that time what you need to do is you need to click on this firmware flasher. So as I am using SP Racing F3, so just select the SP Racing F3. You can see that this board you need to select. Below that you can find different versions. You can see here these are the stable. You can see here these are the stable versions. In that you can select any stable version you want. Okay, so you can select a specific one and you keep this manual baud rate to 25600. Then you just click on this load firmware. After that you can click on flash firmware so that it will be ready for configuration. So in my case I already installed the firmware, so I don't need to do this step again. Okay. So depending on the board you are using, you can select a specific board and you can select the stable version. So try to install only stable version so that it won't give any problem. Okay. In case if you are getting any problem in this particular version, it's better to go for the old version and give it a try. Is it working properly or not? So I will go to this welcome. Then I'll just click on connect so that it starts like this. So you can see here the quad is responding. See? Okay. So now this one it's correct. See here and there, it's the same way. But earlier it won't be like this because I changed, means the previous settings already stored, that's why it is like. So what exactly will happen here is, so in the configuration we need to change this number, okay? Change because we rotated the flight controller board 90 degrees for accessing that USB cable. So otherwise what will happen if I change this to 0 and I say save and reboot. Now you can go back and see it's completely, I'm doing front and back like this, but it's going left and right. If I'm doing left and right, see it's doing front and back like this. See? You can see the difference, right? So because of this, because the orientation is go wrong, like see, because I didn't change the axis. So that's why to make this board, to keep it in a proper orientation, you need to go to configuration. There you must change this to 90 degrees. Then you say save and reboot. Otherwise you don't get a proper orientation. You try to go forward but it will go sideways like that. Now I'll go back and see. Now you can see that. So I'm doing forward, backward. See, quad is responding correctly because we adjusted the gamma axis. So now everything is proper. Now let's see. So this first step is like calibrating the accelerometer. That means when you keep it on the flat surface so that it will calibrate the board that okay, initially this is the stable position, initial position, like this is how it's supposed to be. Mean when it is flying, it will try to keep it in this way on the map. So that's kind of like a stabilization mode. So you just click on this calibrate accelerometer. So that see it is level. That means this is the initial position of the board. While it is flying, it will try to keep it in this way. Okay. So that it will compensate, like if quad is going like this, so it will give more power to left side motors and it will make it like this. If it is going right side, it will give more power to these motors and stabilize. So it will stabilize. So what exactly we did is initial position of the board. So this is how it's supposed to be, like that. Okay. So after this, so these are the ports, like whatever ports you are using in your control board, you can enable it. So enable these ports according to your board. Okay. Then you can come here in configuration, because I am using URD2 and all, so that's why I enable it. If I am using URD3, I will enable that again. After that, you just click on save. Then come to configuration. So this is the motor layout. This is the motor 2, and this is the motor 4, and this is the motor 3, and this is the motor 1. Here you can see the configuration. There are different varieties of configuration here. I am using this quad-X, and here you can see my ESC will support this one shot. Okay, so and so in that different varieties will be there, depend on the ESC you are using. For example, I am using, okay, so I am using these ESC, so it will support, 2S to 4S. It will support this one shot 42 multi shot. Okay, so that's why what we need to do is I need to set it to either one shot or multi shot if it is available, but here it is available one shot 42, so I need to keep it in this protocol, and this option must be on because motor stop. That means when you try to arm the quad, so motor will will not spin, otherwise it will start spinning the moment you arm. Okay, and this is the only change we did because we rotated the flight controller board. Okay, after that you can come down and you can see whatever options available in your board, you can enable it. Even if you enable all also, whatever you have on your board, those sensors will be working, rest it won't work. Okay, then here you can find whatever options you want to use it, you can enable it. So at present I am not using any. Okay, so like this. Then next one is the receiver. As I said earlier, I am using this PPM. Okay, so if you are using S-bus or some different receivers, so you can change according to that, but I am using PPM, so let it be PPM. And yeah, if you are using this beeper configuration, that means if you add a beeper on board, so you can enable it, otherwise you can leave it like this only. You can disable it. This is just for the beeper. Okay, yeah, that's it. And if you are adding LED strip and all in future, so you can enable this. So then yeah, you can save and reboot. Then you can come to fail safe. So fail safe, you keep it like a drop instead of putting land. Okay, so yeah, this one thing you need to do. After that we need to, yeah, so the next step we need to see the receiver, and for that we need to power the board. Okay, so we'll see that. Now to check the receiver, we need to plug in the battery. So I'm plugging the battery here. So once I plugged in the battery, you can go here into receiver. Now you can see it is responding this, and see, yeah, it is responding to all the channels. Okay, so yeah, now it's working fine. So now we need to set up the modes. So modes is like remove this. So the modes is like to change the mode from stabilization mode to horizon mode, and so we can assign this switch. So you can go to this. can see. So aux channel I used this switch. Switch. So you can see used. So here I will add angle and horizon. So this we need to adjust, like when the switch is here, which one should be. So initially it will be in angle mode, that means stabilization mode. After that, when you take the switch to center, it will be horizon mode. When like this, you can see now. So at present it is in stabilization mode. You can see, right, it is activating horizon mode. Third one, if you are not assigned anything, automatically it will be in acro. Okay, like this. You can see this one initially it is in stabilization mode. Second position is for the horizon mode. Third I didn't assign, so automatically it will be in acro mode, like this. So now we configure radio and modes. So you can click on save so that it will be saved. So now we'll come to motors. So enable this, make sure you don't have props on it, props on motor. So we'll check it one by one, motor rotation. So okay, as our layout it is fine. So it is rotating clockwise, that's fine. Then second motor, yeah, second motor should rotate counterclockwise, that is also fine. Okay, third motor should rotate this is also fine. Then fourth motor should rotate clockwise. Okay, so like that. So the direction should match. So make sure the rotations are matching. So like that. Okay, so you can see this, it is rotating properly, and you can see the marking. Make sure clock and this one. So now all motors are rotating properly, that's it. So we can come here and we can say, if you want, you can calibrate accelerometer. Then that's it. So it's done. So make sure your receiver is working fine. Okay, it is taking, and also check the modes are working or not. So modes and all working, so everything is working now. Let's see the FPV.